All right, everybody, and welcome. This is the Pro Zone, and this week we will be discussing NWA 70 for our retro review. This is Rick Del Santo. Joining me, as always, is Dan the Beast, JJ Sins, and the DVD Freak. Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
Great.
How the hell am I? How the hell are you? I'm fucking great.
DVD Freak, what's up?
Tired, but
Yes.
I'm here. Got some beer, so it's all that matters.
What is everybody drinking this evening?
Dan. Yeah, go first, Dan.
I have a pocket full of sunshine. Other than that, I had a glass of chocolate milk.
I have I'm drinking some adult chocolate milk.
Oh, yes. Rick, I want one of those. You said you were drinking a Kahlua. I seriously. I love that stuff, dude.
I'm telling you, man, when you come out here, man, for a fucking week, we're gonna fucking be hitting up some awesome spots.
Sounds like a little alcohol. DVD Freak, what are you drinking, bro?
I got some Bud Light Platinum. I have a Miller Lite, and last week I got the New Amsterdam vodka, so I might break that out eventually.
Ooh.
I like me. There is some vodka in this as well.
I like your style. I like your style. I'm drinking Barefoot wine Pink Moscato. That's what I'm drinking.
That's good.
Really, JJ. All right.
I'm a diva, bro. I'm a self-admitted diva. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, I love the Moscato, so I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody that drinks that other than my wife. So
I know, man.
And her friends, yeah. So I'm when it comes to wine, to be honest with you, I drink like a Cabernet or a Pinot Noir. So I don't dig white wines or pink wines or any of that kind of stuff. It's just personal preference. You know, the other one, they just don't click with me as far as taste goes. So
I like
that's it.
Right on. All right.
So should we talk some professional wrestling, or should we just shoot the shit for 2 hours like usual?
It's up to you, bro. It's up to everyone else. Where is this going to lead to?
We are here to discuss NWA 70th anniversary event, which was held. Let me get the date. It was held 2018. October 21st, 2018, Nashville, Tennessee, at the Asylum, the Nashville Fairgrounds, which was that building I found out through watching the event was actually built for professional wrestling in the, was it in the 1950s? Was that what it was? And I always wanted to visit that building to come to find out since this event has actually been torn down. And this event I thought was really great, right from the intro with you see Jim Cornette, Tony Schiavone, and Joe Galli opening up the show. I really dig Joe Galli's vibe. I think he's very professional sounding, very young sounding. I like him on NWA Power, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Championship Wrestling from Arizona. I think he's a really good commentator, and I guess he's a newscaster wherever the hell he is from. So yeah, there's a lot of great matches. I remember I actually purchased this on the Fight Network to watch it live, and I really enjoyed it, and that is why I chose it this week to be reviewed for the retro review. So, and there's a lot of stuff I didn't realize because, I mean, it is 2 years old. There's a lot of stuff I didn't necessarily realize people that were on this show within the next year would end up in either WWE or AEW eventually.
Yeah.
Stuff that I didn't really put it together until I watched this again. Go ahead. So,
Nobody said anything.
Somebody said. So there's some very important things that did take place. There was basically, I think, 2 4-way matches in the national title tournament type thing, and the winners of the 2 matches would go on to be the finals for the national title when they announced that they were bringing it back. And there's going to be the rematch from All In for the NWA World Title between current champion Cody and former champion Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis lost it at All In Chicago. And NWA Women's title was brought back, and they announced that there was a Crockett Cup that was coming up in the future as well. And they brought back a host of NWA legends to be announced. So, where would you like to begin, gentlemen?
Man, I liked it. Man,
Yeah.
I don't really watch much NWA, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. Everything about it, the commentary, ambiance. I really loved Jim Cornette's commentary. Oh my goodness! Oh, I loved it, man. There was
he brought a really good vibe to the show, I thought. And him and Tony Schiavone brought, from the 80s Jim Crockett promotions, brought a really good vibe to the show, I thought.
Yeah. I thought that. I had that written down in my notes. And in the first match, you had Sammy G, Sam Shaw, Scorpio Sky, and Colt Cabana. And I didn't know this was going to be a four-way elimination match. I had no idea. And I love how NWA treats wrestling as a sport, and how they showed Scorpio Sky training, running up the mountains in the desert. I was like, and showing him working out in the gym, pushing those weights. It treats wrestling as a sport. I was like, oh my goodness, this is great, love it. And I didn't know Scorpio Sky was an MMA fighter. I did not know he was a trained MMA fighter.
Right.
I love the match. It was pretty good. The glove spot with Colt Cabana made me laugh. I understand Rick doesn't like too much comedy. I know we don't really. I know that everyone's shaking their head at me. No, it made me laugh. I need laughter in my life. So
I got you on that one. Yeah.
What are you laughing at? And I'm like, wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I do love me some Colt Cabana though. So I think you're aware of that. I do like him, but he's not a comedy guy that overdoes it. He can actually chain wrestle and do really old school style catch as catch can. I think, did we lose JJ?
There he is.
Sorry, somebody called me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, someone called. I'm sorry. Am I back on?
You're back on. We're still here.
Yeah,
and we're recording.
Yeah, and this person knows not to call me on a fucking Sunday, but whatever. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. I warned everybody myself. First off, I want to tell you that before we get into any more action, my cousin called me right beforehand, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to get stuck on the phone. But come to find out, his girlfriend had given birth to a nice little beautiful baby girl, Harmony Ray Bergen, and I just want to say congratulations to Kevin, and she's the most beautiful little thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's pretty much it.
Cheers.
So, thank you, gentlemen. So I'm an uncle again. So I'm excited.
Being an uncle, my nephew is here this weekend. He came up. He was stationed in Hawaii for 4 years in the Air Force, and in Indianapolis, and he came up here for the visit, and spent some family time. Last night we were hanging out for about 3-4 hours, just laughing our asses off, man. It's great, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love my family. I'm very family oriented. So,
that's a beautiful thing. I have not been so much, but in the last few years I have been building towards that. So, Sam Shaw took the win in this match. I didn't realize that Sam Shaw was actually, because what was it, 2 years later he pops up in NXT under a different name, Dexter Lumis. For some reason I did not put that together, and I didn't know he had a TNA run as well. It must have been probably when I was not watching TNA during that period. So now I'm pretty addicted to TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Go ahead, Jade.
Oh, I just remember Sam Shaw vaguely in TNA.
No, I think he's quite the talented individual.
Delayed, right?
I'm delayed. That's not good. Is this you guys okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Freak, Danny the Beast. Okay.
Like, somebody keeps calling me and shit, so I'm sorry. That's not my fault. I can't control that. Like, I can't.
That's okay, my friend. If you need to take that, you can always join back in if you wish. It's
No,
it's up to you.
The actions of other people. Sorry.
It's all right. So the second match was Barrett Brown on Laredo Kid. I absolutely love this match. It only went about 10 minutes, which I guess that's pretty
Hold,
standard.
hold on,
It was
Rick,
like,
Rick, Rick.
oh,
Hold
hold on.
Let's,
I
let's,
did miss
let's pump
something.
the
I
brakes
did.
here. Let's pump the brakes. We got to give our thoughts on the match. Got to give
Oh,
our
right,
thoughts.
right. I forgot about that.
Sorry.
I'm looking to
Yeah,
jump.
sorry.
That's all right. My bad.
All right. So, first of all,
I
I
got
thought it
Dan
was
here to keep me under wraps, to keep me held. Dan likes to hold me back, so it's good because I'll just run through the shit and I won't have a fucking show.
got a part. So, first of all, I like the first match. The only thing was, when it comes to like elimination style matches, I believe they should be a little bit longer. I feel like this match was a little bit too short, and this was an unlikely win too. I was not expecting Sam Shaw to win this match.
I think you're right on that. I was not expecting it either. I don't remember much of it. I just remember watching it live and did not watch it again since. But considering the three other gentlemen were really well known, I'm surprised that Sam Shaw took it. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, but you know what? It was cool too. I mean, obviously there was a lot of comedy spots. We would see like early glimpses of what Sammy Guevara is truly made of. A lot of intensity, a lot of high spots.
Right.
But you know what? I just thought this match was very short, and could have went on a little bit longer.
It clocked in at 7 minutes and 5 seconds, which I guess for an elimination 4-way, that is pretty damn short. So, but it was. I thought it was pretty enjoyable in it, like regardless. But yeah, I understand that it was a little too short. Yep.
I'm not a fan of comedy wrestling at all, and I felt like it just kind of went too far.
Right.
Some people might find it funny that people are taking a bump to a glove shot to the face, but I just felt like this match never really quite hit third gear, and I love Sammy Guevara. I wish he wouldn't have been eliminated so quickly.
Yeah.
I think he was the second elimination?
Yes.
Somewhere around there?
I believe Colt was first, correct? Did I get that right? Yeah.
So
I actually expected when I remember watching this live, I thought Colt was going to be the one to take that match out of the other three. I wasn't too familiar with Sammy Guevara at the time either. I just knew Scorpio Sky and Colt Cabana. So.
Yeah, I love Sammy G, man. I love his hair, and I love Sam Shaw's hair. Sam Shaw's got that perfect cut, man. I was digging that. I'm like, man, that's cool. I'm not gonna cut my hair like. Looks good.
Even then, he looks pretty scary. I think in real life, if I met that dude, I'd be scared of him if he had that look on his face. To be honest with you. So.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to jump forward too much, or else Dan will yell at me. So, what else, Dan?
Let's move on to the next match, Rick.
Oh, okay. You let Dan take control. All right, Barrett Brown defeated Laredo Kid. I actually thought that was going to go the opposite way. I thought Laredo Kid was going to defeat Barrett Brown. I thought this match was really good for like a high flyer, like lucha match.
Well, let me tell you something about this match. Jim Cornette's commentary, he didn't seem impressed at all. He was just like, wow, with the Hurricanrana counter.
Yeah.
Cornette was just like, oh wow, yada yada.
When he's getting paid, he tries.
Right. But I really, what, Barrett Brown, I wasn't really familiar with who this guy was, but I mean, I was pretty impressed. I mean, Laredo Kid, just like another generic luchador, in my opinion. Just guy who could just hit a lot of high spots.
Right.
But other than that, Brown catches Kid with a running knee to the face and gets the win. So, I mean, Rick, I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of independent guys. Where the hell is Barrett Brown?
Honestly, I totally forgot about him until I watched the show. So we should really look it up and find out. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Is he in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood? Is it?
I think so. Or is he Blade Brown's brother from Class Act?
That I cannot answer. I'm sorry. Class Act.
I'm sorry. I'm talking out my ass, dude. Sorry. I don't know if anybody gets that reference. That 90s reference. Sorry. I don't know anything about these two. I think I might have seen Laredo Kid on a bunch of Chicago.
I think he.
The name sounded familiar, man. There were some things that I was watching. I was like, well, wow. You know, the dude's obviously talented. He can do some things. The finish, I wrote down in my notes that finish is rowdy because he didn't do like a corkscrew off the ropes and then
Right.
ended. And my nephew was like, holy shit. And he was, for a little while. And,
Right.
He's a casual fan and he watched when he was a kid and he hasn't watched wrestling in years, but he was just like, holy shit throughout that whole match. So,
Right.
Someone not a real fan. I mean, it impressed him, so that's gotta
Right.
something.
I think
like
in terms of just pay-per-view pacing, like this is the perfect second match. It's a fun little match to follow the opener, gets you on to the third match. I enjoyed this match.
I think it gets the people pumped up even more. You know what I mean? Like the first and second match, you got to have something that really pumps up the crowd. Generally, the first. I mean, I did look into the. Usually, there's like a dark match on shows, and I looked at the dark match and just kind of scared of. I'm glad they didn't put that shit on the pay per view. It's James Ellsworth match, so so I was wondering because I forgot that James Ellsworth was actually part of the show. So, anyways, yeah, I think you're right. With the first and second matches, you try to get the fans pumped up, get them excited and stuff like that, really into the show. I think this match really did work, getting the fans like into the show. The fans are pretty responsive throughout the entire evening as well. I felt.
Yes, I was thinking that too, and I didn't write it down in my notes, but yeah, I noticed that too. That the fans were they're pretty rowdy for the show.
I do want to say one thing. If you're watching this, like on the pay per view, or I watched it on the YouTube version again today, how many fucking Bullet Club shirts you're seeing in just the front row alone? It's like everybody on the fucking show in the front row has a Bullet Club or like the Cody Bullet Club or some version of the Bullet Club T-shirt.
And Dan's rocking a Young Bucks shirt. I like that shirt. That's
See,
pretty
Dan is he's associated with those clowns as well. So.
Oh, damn!
I love you, Dan. I love you, Dan. That's right. I'm gonna tell you something that I actually just ordered that same shirt. I told you that Hot Topic was having a fucking clearance like on all these New Japan shirts, and that's one of the shirts I just ordered as well. So.
Well, hey, I mean, if it makes you feel a little bit better, I did order a Orange Cassidy T-shirt, so that's
that does not make me feel better. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's just what's kicking the ass, if anything.
I am coming around. Go ahead.
I can say the only time you should ever buy a Young Buck shirt is when it's on clearance. So
$7. So I mean, how could I go wrong, really? Right? It's funny because I was just before we started recording, was discussing. Somebody actually messaged them saying there's like, but I'm just like about the Young Bucks. I'm just like they just look like they want to be the Rockers in a way in the. In probably like 1991, 92, the way they're dressed and the tassels and all that stuff. But I don't think they're a very good team. Personally, I think they're all right.
Well, I tell you what, the Rockers had babies with the 1998 version of the Hardy Boys. You get the Young Bucks.
All right, that's a good reference. That's a good one. Yeah.
I like that reference.
That's pretty good.
The next thing that happened on the show was Ricky Stack. Right? Isn't that the guy's name? Ricky Stack? Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks. Yes, Ricky Starks.
Sorry, yep. I can't read my own writing. I'm very sorry. I only heard about this guy one time on a dirt sheet that he signed with AEW. Am I correct about that?
I don't. Did he pop up there yet, or no?
He did.
He did
pop up this past week. He attacked Darby.
Really? Well, I thought something.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't know how the hell I forgot that. My memory is like fuzzy. I'm old and forget stuff really quickly. So.
I heard of this guy months ago, and then I a promo for this dude. I popped like a mother, dude. I loved everything about it. The song, the Computer Blue from Prince. I was like, oh hell no, and he's playing this. suave, good-looking dude. You know, a heel, obviously probably a heel, putting on that gold chain or was it a silver chain. I
Right.
love
The
it.
thing is, they're promoting him as a heel here, but when he came into when NWA started their TV show on YouTube, he was like really promoted as a babyface. That's what I found odd, which is just like a year later, something like that. They didn't, and there's no in between part like to explain that whatsoever. So
That's
somebody was,
he was
yeah,
I got in my notes. Him ghost riding on that car. He was chilling on that car. Just like, just chilling on it. I love it. I loved everything
right.
about it. It's something taking little pieces of other wrestlers and taking it to a whole new level. And I loved everything about it. And if you're playing Computer Blue in the background, anything Prince, I'm gonna automatically love it because I love Prince. No,
I had a really great discussion about Prince today, actually. Before letting you gentlemen talk about this if you'd wish, but they're talking about the George Harrison. I mean, I'm sure you guys are familiar with that guy. The George Harrison tribute concert that they did a while back, and at the end where it's like Tom Petty and Prince and all these fucking guys playing "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," and Prince comes out and just plays this fucking wailing solo. He just like kicks everybody's ass when he goes out there. Prince was an underrated guitar player, and that guy could play better than fucking anybody. I'm telling you. Like, he could solo better than Hendrix. He can solo better than Page. He can solo better. So, anyways, we're getting off topic once again because that's. I'm not even drunk yet. That's the thing. I'm not even drunk yet. So,
I'm buzzing.
anyways,
Once we do get drunk, do you want to just karaoke Purple Rain or some shit?
my jam is Raspberry Beret. I'm just saying. So,
I was
Raspberry
actually,
Beret.
I was trying to figure out the chords of Purple Rain, maybe like 2 weeks ago. But I want to stop it because I got distracted.
Yeah. So that promo was basically building up the next match. Willie Mack defeated Jay Bradley, Mike Perro, and Ricky Starks. I haven't seen much of Jay Bradley.
Well, didn't we see Magnum TA promo before it? And before this match, there was a Magnum TA promo. Yes.
Was that
and
before this? Okay.
Before the match, you're skipping ahead, like Dan said. Before the four-way match you're talking about, there was a Magnum TA promo. I have in my notes, Rick. I wish I was alive during his run. Can you tell us anything about Magnum TA? Like,
are you coming to me because I'm the old guy? Is that why you're asking me?
Well,
like,
that's why.
I think
and I know
he was
NWA.
I love the NWA. I think he was a very exciting guy. His matches with Tully Blanchard are phenomenal. DVD Freak, are you familiar with those matches at all?
I remember Dan and I made a video together about underrated wrestlers, and on your list was Magnum TA. So if anyone's gonna shoot about Magnum TA, I think that's your guy.
Before Dan, you're more than welcome to shoot, but one of the matches I just remember him, Magnum TA, just grinding a piece of a chair into Tully Blanchard's head and just making him bleed like fucking crazy. And Tully Blanchard just screaming, I quit, yes, I quit, like over and over. I'm going to tell you, JJ, you need to watch that if you've never seen it. It's a fucking phenomenal. That feud was one of the greatest feuds of the 80s. And then it wasn't that shortly after that he got into the car accident, which paralyzed him. So.
Listen, Magnum TA, he had one of the greatest I Quit matches in the 80s. Probably, probably better than any other I Quit match that maybe like WWE ever hosted. And, around the time of his accident, he was aligned to be the next world heavyweight champion. And he had one of the greatest feuds with the Horsemen and, specifically Tully Blanchard. But, he had so much potential just going into the late 80s, who knows what kind of star he could have developed into. Just probably one of the top-notch guys at that time who, he was utilized correctly, but, how would he play out in the 90s? Would he would have went to WWF, or would he would have went to, any other promotion at that time? Definitely one of the best. I mean, he had the
There's
look,
certain
he had the
guys.
charisma. So
That's what
There's
I
certain
like.
guys. Go ahead.
I keep seeing videos of like about how great Magnum TA was, how he was
Yeah.
trying to be and on that WCW, the Rise, what was it, the Rise and Fall of WCW?
The Rise and
I think it was
Fall
called.
of WCW DVD. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't have it, but I saw the network version, and again, they talked about how big he was, how when he was in the hospital, those highways were shut down, his fans wanted to
Mm-hmm.
see. It's like really, he was that big. And I
you guys
understand
need
how.
DVD.
That's got to be a High Spots DVD, or no? See, you guys.
This is a must-watch DVD.
Where?
So
I'm gonna have to look into that now. Is that? Did you get that from High Spots?
I did
Yeah.
get this from High Spots. I also got the autograph cover with this as well.
Oh,
But
awesome.
basically just go more in depth with his story, what it's like to be, after wrestling, just all the struggles that he has to go through, and basically what happened that
Right.
made it his career end at the age of 27.
I don't. Yeah, he was really young. One of the things I didn't realize until I think last year that he's actually Tessa Blanchard's stepfather, which I was unaware of. So yeah, that's
I
pretty
think
incredible. I thought.
Godfather.
Godfather?
Yeah, I think it's Godfather. I don't know how weird that would be for Magnum to be Tessa's stepfather, especially with the feud that Tully and them had.
That's I'm gonna look it up just right now.
Yeah.
I thought that
I think I heard something about that. I think I heard something about that, and like,
right.
I don't know. Unless I dreamt it up. Forgive me. I'm really stoned.
Nope. It is stepfather. Yep, it is stepfather. I see it here on the internets. Very reliable source.
I did hear something
I think
about
it was yeah.
really not that
Tully's
stoned.
it says Tully's her father, Joe Blanchard grandfather, and Magnum TA stepfather. She's one of my favorites today. Like literally, I say that a lot, but she's one of the people that I enjoy watching the most out of like current wrestling. And Tully's an amazing worker as well. So where did we leave off, everybody?
All right, so we're on the second fatal four-way elimination match, in which again, in which I believe once again another short kind of match. It could have went on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But Willie Mack, he comes up with the victory, and there was a part in the match where Starks basically holds Mike Perro's tights, and Perro's shoulder was up. And the commentary was basically bragging about that, like, hey, his shoulder was up. What the fuck's going on? And Jay Bradley in this match, if anybody's not familiar with Jay Bradley was Ryan Maddox in WWE back in 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So it's been a while since I've seen his face. And he was specifically on the SmackDown brand, if I remember correctly.
I heard Cornette talking about it in the during the duration of the program. Yep.
But I like the spot where Starks hit the power bomb, and then Willie Mack comes off the top with a big diving splash to eliminate Bradley. And yep, like I said, Starks with the spear was a near fall, and then we had Mack with a stunner, and he scores the pin. So I think that was the right move for Willie Mack to advance into this match. But against Shaw, I think that could have ended up as a better match if somebody like Scorpio Sky or Sammy Guevara would have advanced. But like I said, this is the NWA's ruling. So.
Willie Mack really wouldn't last too long with the NWA after this, because I think Impact had signed him shortly after. So he didn't last very long with them. The NWA, I don't think he really even, before they got the Power Show, I don't think they even, I don't think he really defended the belt much. I remember he showed up in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood once or twice with the belt. I think once maybe, but other than that, I don't really think that he did much else with the NWA.
In my notes, love Jay Bradley. The guy's a fucking brute. That's what I have in my notes. He just reminds me of a brute. Your little thing, like he does little things, and it works. It's believable. Like
Right.
who did he step on? He just stepped on someone, giving him elbows. Like he's a big, powerful dude. He was bigger than his opponent. He was believable.
Right.
I like just an old school dude, and
Yeah,
I
he
dug it.
was. I think I like the. Where did DVD Freak go? To get more liquor? No, he didn't hear me. I don't think. I liked it. They really go into Mike Perro's background and his lifestyle, or his, and I haven't seen that much of him after this. Just a little bit. I think he's a really talented gentleman as well. Ricky Stark's a talented gentleman. So, does anybody else have anything else to say about this?
I think this was 10 times better than the first Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
And I think it had a better story, had better pacing, less fucking comedy, and I think this kind of sold the winner better and kind of really got you excited for the finals.
Right. I love Willie Mack. I think he's great. Yeah, I think he's awesome.
I agree with you 100%. I love Corny's commentating on Ricky Stark too, so I can ripping him in the ass.
I miss Cornette. I miss Cornette working with the NWA. I really do. It's the I don't want to get too into it because everybody's got their own opinions about certain things, but I think he's a great commentator and he's a very intelligent gentleman when it comes to wrestling. And the thing with him is that he respects the wrestling business. There's a lot of people around today, and I'm sure some of you guys are going to agree that they just don't respect the business enough to take it seriously enough. And Jim Cornette is kind of like one of those old school lifer type guys, and he just respects the business 100% and doesn't want young putzes coming in ruining the business. So,
well, I love how kayfabe he is on commentary.
Yes.
Like he reminds you of that classic Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan duo. He plays that great kayfabe commentary where sometimes he'll play the stupid heel, or he'll just make fun of the wrestlers, which is something you just don't see nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
So what else happened here? What else happened? Was there in between? Oh no, they promoted the Tim Storm match, right?
Before that, after the match, they had a face-off between Willie Mack and what was it, Sam Shaw? Was there a face-off?
That's right. Yep. Yeah, I believe that there was.
I dug that. I dug it, man. I don't remember the what was her name? It was like the host, the commentator. It was some.
I'm not familiar
I don't remember her name.
With the female interviewer. I don't really remember who she is.
I can't think of the proper way.
Yeah, I don't remember.
She said to get a off, and I dug it. Like, and they're like, "Oh man, that was cool." It reminded me of MMA. I'm not a huge MMA, but I dig the face off.
Right.
It added an element. It added an element of realness. I dug it. Just a little thing.
Was it Jen Decker was the interviewer, the female interviewer? That's the only female I have listed here. So.
Jen Decker. Right on.
Okay. So, anyways, the Tim Storm Peter Avalon match. I love Peter Avalon when he's not in AEW. I'm just gonna say that. I watch him in Championship Wrestling from Arizona. I watch him on the Indies. I think that dude could really fucking work. And AEW is treated like a jabroni, kind of like a. He's got like a corny gimmick, but in NWA and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Arizona, I think he's really talented, and those two promotions show that he can really, really work. He's not treated like a scrub like in AEW where he just goes in and kind of embarrasses himself or gets his ass whooped in 30 seconds or whatever. So I enjoyed this match. The Kiss My Foot match, I thought it was fucking hilarious. Not in the, I just thought it was really good. It was fun. I loved Tim Storm. I'm sorry, I'm babbling, but I like Tim Storm a lot, and I really like Peter Avalon a lot.
That's cool. I love Corny ripping on Peter Avalon. That's what I have in my notes. He said
Yeah.
Peter Avalon ate blood and forgot to sing when to stop. I thought that was hilarious because that's how I look.
Right.
I'm very sure. I love the controversial ending. They showed a package before, and Peter Avalon had 2 wins over Tim Storm, and the package they showed, they told a story. I had I wasn't watching NWA Power. I wasn't watching this, and it was from a clip from Championship Wrestling. What was it? What's
from
that
Arizona. Arizona Championship Wrestling from Arizona. The associated with the United Wrestling Network.
I love how NWA kept doing that. They kept, obviously, they give you a little heads up, a little, info on what the. And I like how they told the story. You wanted to see Tim Storm beat Peter Avalon and beat his ass because Peter Avalon had controversial wins. The feet on the with Tim Storm with his hands on the rope. I dug that. It's simple storytelling. Love it.
Yeah.
I ran. I like it. What else, Dan? What do you got to say about it? DVD Freaks? What do you
Yes,
got?
Dan. You guys have been quiet.
Well,
I
didn't think the match was bad. Obviously, Peter's undefeated streak came to an end at 2-0. Sadly, well, 2-1 now. But I believe this match was pretty much one-sided. I mean, Tim Storm was practically on the offense. Obviously, Avalon's lackey, what's his name, Marquez. Try to interfere in the match. Evo Marquez. His ass gets knocked out. Tim performs the Eye of the Storm, gets the win. And I don't know. I'm just not really a big fan of foot matches, just because I have a fetish for feet, and it's like, yuck, no thanks. Like, put your boot back on. No, thank you. God forbid we had to do that with Waller and Brett.
Dan is revealing his personal life here.
I don't know. It's fucking disgusting. Like, why? Why would you want to kiss somebody?
I totally get you, but I mean, it's an old school stipulation in a way. You know what I mean? That's like a very old school thing. It was enjoyable. Tim Storm was to me, Tim Storm was like the ultimate babyface. And honestly, if you start to watch NWA Power and get into it in the first and second season, he's like the ultimate babyface. He gets everybody in that television studio behind him. It's really awesome. Former NWA World Champion. That's all I got to say.
I mean, that's exactly what I was gonna say. This was classic heel babyface, and it's rare you see a babyface 100% cheered and a heel 100% booed. This felt like a classic, kiss my foot match. I'm not a big fan of the stipulation, but I can appreciate how the crowd was into it. The commentary was perfect, and I love how the manager, he was representing him, so he got the foot. But the crowd. This is one of those. The crowd, they were happy with the outcome, and it's just your classic old school storytelling that you don't see very often. So it made me happy to see this. As much as I don't like the stipulation, I love how old school this felt.
Right. I think it's just like, so far we're 5 matches in. We got like 4 more to discuss. At this point, you just feel like the NWA is the NWA again. It's like old school NWA. It's wonderful and fun to watch. This is like what professional wrestling should be, not some of those other companies that we're not talking about. But so you know what I mean?
I agree.
It's like enjoyable.
I totally
you can get in. Sorry, JJ. You can get invested in the product. You get behind the baby faces, and that's how it should be. You know what I mean? You get very excited for this stuff. You know what I mean? And stuff like this is, whether you a fan of foot fetish matches like Dan or not, you get into it. You get into it. It's fun. Dan's not smiling. I'm sorry, dude. It's fun, dude. It's like fun and believable and enjoyable. It's like this event. I remember when it was announced and it was happening. It reminded me of being a child watching Jim Crockett Promotions on TBS or something similar to that. You know what I mean?
Bret Hart that I grew up watching.
There you go.
And then, the very few episodes I did watch of NWA Power, I saw that Tim Storm was that, like you said, that baby face that everyone was behind.
He's the ultimate baby face. And, yeah.
I dug it. It was a long time ago when I watched.
Right.
I dug it. After that, I stopped writing notes because, shit happened. But I did watch. I missed the match, but I watched.
Dan is the ultimate note taker. That's just no.
Go ahead, take it away, Joe.
All right, so I mean that's pretty much all we all commented on it. We all got it. The next match was the women's match. I love the pre-match promos by Jazz on this. I love the pre-match and post-match promos by Jazz, to be honest with you, because honestly, I didn't even remember. I guess maybe because at the time I didn't really know who she was. Penelope Ford was in this match. Jazz defeated her by submission. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. This was a fucking pretty good match. And
you know what? I did like the match, and this was another case of Earl Hebner trying to screw somebody else in the wrestling business. Especially with the false 3 count. They weren't even sure if that was a 3 count or hat and head. What I did like about this, Jazz was already champ for 756 days, which is like over 2 years.
She had won the belt during the Bruce Tharpe era, and apparently he just kind of gave up the company and then eventually sold it to Billy. I'm sorry to cut you off and give everybody a little bit of history. And I guess there was like a huge gap between NWA promoting shows, and then that's pretty much what happened as to why she held it for as long as she did. Dan, take it away.
And the crowd was very behind Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford, another one of those top, baby face, if you could say, in that division. But the crowd was behind it. Another typical, face versus heel type match. And after the false, I guess you could say, finish with the pin count, Jazz just wins with the STF. And basically after the match, she, this was an enjoyable match. I will say that, to say the least. And I like, her promo at the end, how she felt underutilized and, unappreciated after all these years, and basically just saying like, hey, I still fucking got it.
One of the things I thought was hilarious, I thought that she said that she wanted to take a shot at the 10 pounds of gold, which kind of scared the shit out of me. Maybe the NWA would have an intergender match and a woman would win the 10 pounds of gold, the most important title in the professional wrestling world.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of felt bad because I didn't know Jazz was this prominent still, which I feel bad for that because of how talented she is. And I mean, she's going, 20 years later after WWF. It's impressive. Mm-hmm. This was a good match. I was surprised by how much she can still hold a good match. And
she's still relatively young still, I believe.
And I'm not too familiar with Penelope Ford, but I was impressed with this match.
She's a manager in AEW. I believe you watched it. I think we discussed it last time. But
I don't watch it. I don't watch it weekly because I work every Wednesday. But I watch the pay-per-views when I can. Okay. So I keep up with it as much as I can.
Right. Yeah. I don't necessarily. I don't watch really much wrestling live anymore. I usually watch it, later on in the night or mornings. But AEW is the one that I actually keep up with the most, outside of the NWA. But they're not doing anything right now. But yeah, like I said, I love the post-match promo. I thought it was great how she wanted to challenge for the 10 pounds of gold, which I was kind of scared that she might fight Nick Aldis, or not that Cody. But after that, was there a little scuffle after? What happened after the match prior to the next match? Was there anything in between? I don't have it written down in my notes. Dan, note master.
Did we talk about the Ellsworth clusterfuck that happened?
That's what I was trying to think. Like, they did an interview, and then he popped up, and then I think he saved Willie Mack's life, or didn't he, at one point during this show? Which I thought was a why him of all people to save Willie Mack. So
Yeah. Dude, I was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on?
It just seemed really random and out of place for the whole show.
Well, any man with two hands has a chance. So I guess Dan Ellsworth had his chance.
Well, all right, Dan.
That's
Funny
funny.
thing is, I don't think the NWA used him again at all. But I remember I went to TNA Bound or Impact Bound for Glory just like 2-3 weeks after this, and he popped up and was legitimately fired like the next day because all that shit came out about him in a minor.
That was rough. That was rough.
Yeah. So, and everybody was expecting somebody else to come in at that Impact show, but it ended up being him. So.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So Willie Mack and Sam Shaw, I thought this was a phenomenal match, to be honest with you. I love Willie Mack. So I thought it was really good. This is really dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah, this was very entertaining and well received by the crowd, especially on both ends. It was like near fall after near fall after near fall. And honestly, this was a pretty good damn match.
Yeah, I thought so too. Willie Mack is always very exciting to watch, I think.
Jim Cornette said it best. Nashville, they know they're good wrestling. And this is one of those classic wrestling crowds.
Yep. I think that building holds a huge history also for the business. So the fact that, the crowd is going nuts for the entire thing, that also says, a lot right there. I mean, prior to this, they held all those early TNA pay-per-views as well. The Asylum years. So.
Yep. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Wednesday, was it?
Yeah, it was on Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. $10 a week.
I remember ordering.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I was getting back into wrestling. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Fun time. Oh, I got
all right.
Yeah, before the dark times.
Yeah. It's weird that you say that because it is bringing up like they started Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it, started during like a dark period after it was only basically one national promotion at the time, but they struggled for a number of years on pay-per-view to try to get a national following. They didn't really have a national following. I mean, they're still struggling these days, but it took them years. But it was a very dark period for the business at that time period when they were starting. But it would go bounce back up and down for a number of years. So then I think this is the only tag team match of the entire evening. If it looks like
God.
I wound up walking up.
This match, this was a really pointless event. Part of the evening. Crimson, Jack Stain.
You know what? All right, time to rant. So first of all,
here we go.
All right, so first of all, nobody was even in this fucking match. Like nobody had no fucking reaction during this match until after the match when they announced the fucking Crockett tournament. I think that drew a better reception than the fucking match itself. Secondly, I highly doubt everybody fucking knew who the fuck Crazy Steve and Shannon Moore was because of how they fucking look. God forbid you haven't seen Shannon Moore since he was teaming up with Jimmy Wang Yang. And
hey, Jimmy Wang Yang was a great talent, all right?
He was. Listen,
you're right.
He was. I
You're
got
right.
nothing against Jimmy Wang Yang, but oh my gosh, this match was just
very underrated talent.
It's the Asian cowboy. What more could you ask for?
I
know. That's fucking rowdy.
Anyway, they went with the ground zero finish, Crimson and Jack Stain, and obviously they are accompanied by one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time, from one of my favorite tag teams of all time, Animal from the Legion of Doom / Road Warriors, whatever. But honestly, this match was okay. It definitely didn't live up to the hype. And
it was just a spot filler, basically.
This was a spot filler, and this was the shits of the crowd of the show. So let's just put it that way.
They put it there right before the main event, so everybody can go take a leak, go get the popcorn, whatever popcorn match, So it served its purpose. Jack Stain and Crimson, I think, are really two very talented guys. Not that Crazy Steve and Shannon Moore aren't. Josephus, I love Josephus. I think he's a talented worker, especially in the NWA. He's did a little bit more with the company. He didn't really do a whole ton on this show. Anybody remember Hollywood? I don't know, JJ, DVD Freak. Do you guys remember Hollywood from Glow? Did anybody watch Glow or no?
I did not watch Glow. I did not.
You guys are way too fucking young for me.
Oh,
Seriously.
I do remember.
Children.
I remember watching Glow with my sister and my cousin.
Yeah.
So I don't remember anyone's names, but I do remember watching it.
Yeah.
So I don't.
4 minutes and 35 seconds. This is I don't really remember much about Crazy Steve when he was in Impact. So this kind of match was, like I said, it was a throwaway match, pretty much.
I love. He was coming out. It's I think it was Crazy Steve. No, I'm sorry, it was someone else. But I remember Crazy Steve was in some stable, and I dug it. And I don't.
DK. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God! And they were. Yep. Weren't they coming out to a Marilyn Manson song?
They were like a gothic group kind of.
I loved it. I was watching Impact because of them. Them and Dollhouse, which they used to come out to Doll Parts from Hole, and I loved it. But yeah, oh man, that was rowdy. That was when Billy Corgan was involved with TNA. I guess it was called TNA at the time. He had licensing for music, obviously. So, oh man. I don't know. That's how I'm big into music. So what can I say?
Well, I love me some Smashing Pumpkins, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. They're a great group, especially like their first 3 albums. So
and they're also Chicago as well. So it's
So JJ's got a link to them.
Yeah, they hold a special place in my heart.
All I see is your forehead, is your hat. There you go. There's your face. We need to see a beautiful face on screen.
I look too weird without my facial. Whatever.
Yeah, I noticed. The NWA World title rematch for the NWA World title. Nick Aldis against champion Cody. This was a fucking great match, I thought. I thought this was really good. Was it as good as their match at All In? What do you guys think?
Am I the only one that preferred their All In match? Because from what I'm seeing, everyone prefers the NWA 70 match.
You're causing chaos here, my friend.
I prefer All In, honestly.
All right, good.
You know what? That's gonna have to be a match that we're gonna. That's gonna have to be an event that we're gonna have to do for the Retro Sunday. We're gonna have to do that in September.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that in September because August is booked. So our SummerSlam month. But yeah,
like, don't get me wrong, I love this match. Like, the first fall, obviously it was like a slow paced start until the second fall happened, and then everything just took place out the ring into the concession stand. Soft drinks getting served, all that good jazz. And the table spot, Nick Aldis jumping from a very high pace. That's probably the only high spot you'll probably ever see from Nick Aldis. And, going practically knee first into the
traditional
table.
wrestler. Yeah, he's a classic traditional British wrestler. Yeah. I think that, now that I think about it, I think the All-In match might be a little bit better. The All-In match was a pretty bloody match. Am I wrong? Or is that because this one, I thought I must have gotten the two matches confused when I went to go watch this one.
Yeah,
I didn't love this match.
Cody bladed for All-In.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, so I thought it was this match initially going into it, but I must have confused it. I really did enjoy this match, and I'm a huge Nick Aldis fan. I think the guy's really great. I'm an NWA guy. Have been since 1987. So, I don't know. I always got behind these guys, and I thought that this was a really, really great match. I'm tired of seeing Brandy Rhodes honestly, and this is probably like the beginning of it, maybe All In. She just like pops up, always gets involved in the matches, and is always on TV. And then there's, they tried that heel turn in AEW, and it just did not work out for any reason. It's just she's just boring, and Cody just puts her on TV because this is right. No offense to Cody, no offense to but it's like I don't think she's very talented.
I don't mind Brandy. I just can't stand fucking Camille. Can that bitch talk? I can't stand her not talking like a badass.
Hold up.
She looks like she's out of Rocky IV.
You didn't get too far into NWA Power if that's the case. You got to watch the second and third season and see the build-up, my friend. So
I know.
And then we'll have to get back to
that. Big, tall, intimidating.
Beautiful woman.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. 2 out of 3 falls matches. That's my all-time favorite stipulation.
I agree with you, DVD Freak. I think that's probably
to me
the only one that really matters. And,
yeah, that to me, fuck Hell in a Cell, fuck TLC. To me, the real rivalry ender is 2 out of 3 falls matches. And
go ahead. Sorry.
I prefer more in ring. I think I felt like they were out of the ring too much.
Right.
And I feel like it was kind of shoehorned when Earl Hebner was like, "Oh, we're just gonna let him go." Come on, I just feel like that was a little shoehorned in there.
I thought it was a bit odd, Earl's behavior. As one of the things I wanted to mention during the women's match is like the fucked up ending of the women's match. Like he seemed very confused. I don't think Penelope Ford kicked out, but he just like stopped counting randomly. It just seemed like I was just like, wait a second, what? And then like even the announcers seemed confused. Is the guy just getting too old? No offense, Earl. You're one of the greatest of all time, but he just seems out of place, like bouncing back and forth, sometimes. But like I said, he's been involved in some of the greatest matches in the history of the business, and from the '80s through the '90s. So,
well,
he's going to end up screwing himself over, if anything.
Didn't he already do that?
I was gonna say he's a part of one of the most infamous moments in the history of wrestling, the Montreal Screwjob. So.
Yep. Not even to mention but also the Hogan Andre thing where the title change as well. Him and his brother were involved in that. So he's been involved in like gigantic moments in the WWE history.
Yeah, and then he started selling merchandise and got fired. So.
I remember hearing about this. Was this bootleg merchandise or was it stolen merchandise out of the back of his car or something?
Yeah, they were selling like bootleg merchandise in like 2005, and they got fired for it.
As long as it's not hurting anybody. No. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There will be, I'm going to tell you something. There's never say never in the world of professional wrestling. Dave and Earl will end up in the Hall of Fame at some point. It's inevitable. They were so important to the business. Basically, someone's just got to convince the guy. What's his name? Vince. Forgot the biggest promoter of all time's name. So they just got to talk to him and have it worked out. It'll happen. I think.
When I think of referees, I think of Earl Hebner and Charles Robinson. Those are my 2. And I put Earl Hebner as the greatest referee of all time. I don't care. He is the greatest.
Hold
up a second. I'm going to go back. All right, JJ. Before I mention mine, Dan, go for it. Who's your favorite referee of all time? We didn't even talk about the result of this match yet.
Man. Favorite referee. I mean, obviously we've seen a lot of encounters where Earl, and not just as a senior official, but obviously he's had some moments in the ring himself. Obviously, one of the most iconic moments that I remember from Earl is the match on Raw between Triple H and Chris Jericho for the WWF Championship, and Earl made the fast 3 count. Jericho became champion for like a little over under an hour or 2 until the decision was reversed. But when I want to talk about my favorite referee, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, he's still going today, and that's referee Charles Robinson.
Yep.
Kids.
Tommy
Young. Referee Tommy Young NWA referee. He was there. He host, and this is not just because I'm a mark for NWA. It's just because he was there in some of the greatest matches throughout the '80s. In Jim Crockett Promotions, he managed some of the greatest matches of Ric Flair's career until he got an injury. Not to mention that fucking Nick Patrick. You guys, nobody here mentioned Nick Patrick, which I'm surprised about. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. His NWA WCW career, and then he had a pretty decent career wrapping it up in WWE.
It brings back PTSD of Michael Cole saying referee Nick Patrick every night on fucking SmackDown.
That guy needs to be.
I hate Michael Cole so much.
I'm in agreement. I am in agreement with you on that. But who the hell else is gonna commentate on that program? I mean, they should bring up Mauro Ronaldo and to host all three fucking programs. So. Oh
my god, I love Mauro Ronaldo.
I'm saying he's the greatest commentator today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He really is. So, in the modern era. Anyways, Nick Aldis regains the NWA World Title in 36 minutes. It was a pretty good fucking match, but like you said, the All In match might have been better. So we're gonna have to go back at some point and cover All In because I'm due for a good watching of that. I haven't seen it in quite some time.
I bought that one live. That was one I was fully paid for, 100%. I supported that.
Not me. I bootlegged it. Sorry, guys.
I paid for. I usually back then I would bootleg, but that one I was like, no, they deserve my money. Like.
Yeah. No, you're.
And then there's you who's bootlegging them. So.
What?
Hey, I paid for every single NWA pay-per-view. All right. So
there you go. There you go.
$24, or sometimes they offer a deal. So, I hope Cody's not listening.
Well, you're talking shit about Brandy earlier, so.
Oh hell, I'm dead now. Now I'm not going to get any free merchandise, nothing like that. I'm kidding. Anyways, so.
I love Camille, man. She's not only is she beautiful, but she looks bad. Like, seriously. Like, she's what, 5'11", maybe 6'2"? She looks like a genuine cat. Seriously. Got the look on her face, and she's big, she's muscular, but very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to fight her. She'd probably beat my ass, man. Like, seriously.
No, they showed her on NWA. I think, what is it, the last episode or the episode before the last episode of Power? She had a match and she fucking dominated, dude. She looks scary as fuck.
That whole duo between Nick Aldis and Camille kind of reminds me of young Hunter or Paul Levesque in kind of '97. So that's the way I see it.
Terrorizer.
Sure.
Well, actually, you're
terrorizing. I think it was
terrorizing. Yeah, you're New England guy, so
yeah, terrorizing.
He worked up here. He worked up here in New England, training with the Killer Kowalski, and the both of them did actually. They worked the Indies over here. Small bit of information: him and Perry Saturn were tag team champions for Killer Kowalski's promotion, IWF, out of Massachusetts. So I thought that was really odd. Yeah.
And that was back in the time where he really wanted a last name so bad. Oh, you want a last name? Shoot, Terra Rising.
Rick,
right.
Did you ever see Terra Rising at an indie show? Did you ever see him before? He obviously.
I did not see him on any shows in this area, but I was definitely aware of him. I was aware of him throughout the magazines and, the After Mags, New Wave Wrestling, stuff like that. And I think, Meltzer mentioned him here and there, whatever. But I don't think I actually saw him until he joined WCW as Terra Rising. So. The earlier, before he became, what was the name? Oh, Jean-Paul Levesque, before he, switched to that name. But who did he team with? Steven Regal?
He's teamed with Steven Regal. Yeah, I think just Steven Regal.
Yeah. Which I thought that was a tag team that had potential, to be honest with you.
This is going to get so many dislikes because you mentioned Meltzer. Good job.
Why don't I just say this? Why don't I just say this now? I don't give a fuck. No
I'm a
offense to
huge.
DVD
I'm a Meltzer
All
mark,
right.
so don't worry.
High five, DVD freak. High five. So I'm a Meltzer fan. I don't think he gets enough credit. The guy's been doing it 40 fucking years. He's doing something right. It's all these like newer IWC guys coming out and giving him a hard fucking time because they can find the news on fucking Twitter or even Mike Johnson gets shit. You know what I mean? I love Mike Johnson. He's a fucking cool guy. I just feel bad that all these young kids just come out and give them shit. These guys have obviously been doing it. Johnson's been doing it, almost 30 years? Meltzer's been doing it probably 40 and change. Those guys are doing something right. You know what I mean? I don't think they're necessarily as wrong as people are claiming or providing wrong information. People just don't want to hear that shit.
I'll tell you what. I might get shit for this, but if you ask any wrestler, like any type of income figures or attendance figures, they're not going to know. But Meltzer does. I love Meltzer. I listen to the Brian and Vinny show. I'm a subscriber.
I listen every day. Brian and Mike Sempervive and Brian every day, 3 o'clock on Observer Radio, Sports Byline. I listen to it every day. One of the greatest things, I think Brian's a really fucking cool dude, and I like when he goes on a fucking rant and gets angry about things. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So anyways, go ahead, gentlemen.
I am a proud subscriber, so fuck you to the people that aren't.
See, I'm glad to hear some.
I'm not a Meltzer mark, bro. Well, because I listen to Bischoff's podcast, and the way he rips into Meltzer, I fucking love it, and I love Bischoff. Well, I don't love Bischoff, but he has a good run.
I think one of the things about that, if you're a former promoter, talent guy, whatever, of course you're gonna fucking hate Meltzer because Meltzer fucking judge you as a promoter or a booker or whatever. And WCW did a lot of garbage. Let's be serious. So no wonder Russo and Bischoff are probably on a Meltzer shit list. I mean, he was very critical of them. They did a lot of stupid shit that.
At the end of the day, though, was he fucking wrong? No.
No. I have several,
I respect Meltzer. I love what he does. Don't get me wrong. I respect what he does. He's amazing. I'm not like, I hate Meltzer. But no, I like you said exactly. He's full of facts. I love it, but I'm just a little like, only because of Bischoff and Russo's podcast. The way they rip into him.
Oh my God! Fuck Vince Russo. I can't listen to Vince Russo talk for 5 minutes. I can't.
Oh no! I think so I'm not a fan of his booking by any stretch. I'm going to tell you that. The fact that he defends it the way he does, that's his opinion. I'm not a fan of it. I think the guy is fucking hilarious for one thing, and he's a nice as hell guy. He really is a nice as hell guy. I've spoken to him online a bunch of times. He collects stereo equipment, so do I. If we could just fucking talk about stereo equipment. The word wrestling was never mentioned. So if you're not talking about Brawl for All or some other bullshit, the Katie Vick story or whatever, you're fine. All right, you'll understand he's actually a really fucking nice dude. But
he's a good dude, man.
Yeah. When it comes to fucking Meltzer, Alvarez, I have two of Meltzer's books. I have several of Brian's books. The two dudes are talented. They know what the hell they're talking about. Right? So it's okay. Most people don't like them.
Do you have? Let me ask you this.
Listen.
This is.
Fuck
oh God.
Vince Russo. This is the reason why. Fuck Vince Russo. He should have never been in this fucking match. Let me, no. He should have never
Not for nothing.
been
That
at
was not for nothing. That's a McMahon thing in 1989. So give Russo a break here. He just brought it back. All right. By the way, we're all wearing masks on Halloween. So, all right.
All right.
I have some.
JJ. I know you got a bunch, JJ. So.
Oh yeah.
Or your
dad
does.
I got them all.
I have a W
because I drank my milk today. See, that's why.
I have a WCW Rey Mysterio mask. I'll just wear that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's dude. Hell yeah.
Rick, I wanted to ask you, Rick. You said you had Brian Alvarez's book, two of his books. Do you have his latest one?
I didn't get the latest one. Shit, I forgot the name of it because he was promoting it on air like quite a bit. I'm trying to remember.
It's like 100 things you have to do as a WWE fan before you die. I just wanted to see if that was worth buying or not.
I'll get it eventually, I'm sure. I have his, was it the WCW one he did?
That's the WCW, yep.
That one, yep. I think it's a phenomenal book, to be honest with you. I think it's really good. It's pretty thick and pretty fucking detailed as well. So I think it's definitely a book worth reading. I've read some wrestling books that are just too thick, too big. The Eric Bischoff book that came out is just too large.
I read it. I read that. That's really.
He spends a lot of time. I enjoyed it. But obviously, he spends a lot of time in his WCW career because that's what he did the most. But he spends very little time in his AWA career, which I was like trying to learn a little bit more about his AWA career. But there's not a lot of information out there unless you ask Greg Gagne. I keep staring at Dan's head with the blue blazer mask.
Please wear that for the rest of the video. Please wear that.
This is a sneak preview of a new series I'm going to be doing called Bad Booking Episode 1. This is going to be the first fucking episode.
Bad Booking Episode 1. That's funny. I love it. I love the Blue Blazer song. Whenever I think of Blue Blazer, my first exposure to him was, I believe, WrestleMania 5 or was
against
it
Mr. Perfect. Yeah, Kurt Hennig. Yeah, that was a good match. Yep.
And at the,
we're not allowed to mention Donald Trump on air. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was it? You know what? Fuck that. Street. I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
I'll tell you what. I'm anti-politics, so I agree.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
At the Trump Casino, wasn't what was 2 WrestleManias? Was it WrestleMania?
It was,
4 and 5. 4 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Trump Plaza in Atlantic City,
which was a really cool looking building, believe it or not. Yeah.
I loved it, and then
I like the lighting rigs that they had in there.
And then the Blue Blazer coming out to that song, I loved it. I was only 5 years old, but I loved it. You know,
I was 14 at the time. 14 at the time when he came in 1989, and I thought he was phenomenal. Then I read a magazine and found out who it was. You know, they just spoiled it in like Pro Wrestling Illustrated or something. You gonna do a moonsault thing?
I'm always in the minority. I love WrestleMania 4. So many people hate on
very
WrestleMania.
Underrated.
Yeah, so many people hate on it.
Because it's a tournament. Yeah, because it's a tournament rather than an actual event. And I'm a huge fan of tournaments. They just don't do enough of them. You know what I mean?
So am I.
Yep. They don't really make like a huge like emphasis or importance on them. I mean, I thought it was booked really well.
I love WrestleMania 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. There's an awesome battle royal to start it off, and then there's a bunch of tournaments. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, JJ. Yeah, I thought it was really good. So, there's some really good matches. I thought the Savage and the other guy, the Ted DiBiase. I keep forgetting people's names tonight. I don't know what's with me. It must be the.
How can you forget Ted DiBiase? That's just.
He's a fucking phenomenal worker. He really was. And they put on a great match.
He paid you, didn't he?
What'd you say?
He paid you, didn't he?
No, man. There's some really good matches in that show, and then so the 1989 Royal Rumble where he bought his spot in. Was that one? I thought, and then I think the following year he ended up getting forced to be number 1. I thought that was like the perfect storyline. It really was, and he took out everybody for a long time. He lasted like the majority of the show.
Have you guys seen the DVD Price of Fame by Ted DiBiase? It's not a WWE DVD release, but it was.
Yes, I finally got to watch that yet because I read his book actually. It came out a bunch of years before that. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I have his book. This is how big of a wrestling geek I was. I did a book report on his book in like 8th grade.
That's amazing, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that book, but
I thought the documentary was really good because it's like it was really kind of hard to get a hold of at first, and then eventually it ended up on Amazon Prime like 2 years after it came out.
yeah.
It's very good. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I have the DVD somewhere around here, but
Yeah,
it was very religious, which is not my thing, but it's
mine
very
either. But
interesting.
some of the
It's
guys you can tell in their age that's what they've turned to. So
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's a great guy, so credit to
Yeah.
him, you know?
A lot of wrestlers turn to
yeah, a
God.
lot of guys have. Well, a lot of them. Some of them turn because of drugs and alcohol and other issues and stuff like that. Look at Nikita Koloff. I don't know if any of you guys follow him on Twitter, but he posts religious posts just about every day. But he's a fucking cool guy. He's retweeted me many times when I've done like my This Day in History posts and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's cool. Lex Luger is, I think he wasn't a nice guy, but he became a nice guy in his old age. So, you know.
To continue
It
on,
happens.
with the Meltzer.
Yes.
Meltzer's great on Twitter. I ask him questions all the
I
time, and he always answers. Like he's great on Twitter.
I think that one of the things on Twitter is that people try to get him riled up, and then he does just a nice, calm, relaxing answer, and then just like somebody tries to come back at him again about that answer, and then he brushes it off really well, and then he just, at the end of the night, he'll just be like, "This is why I don't like Twitter," or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll talk
But
shit.
he needs it, yeah. But he does it very subtly, kind of. You know what I mean?
It's like very, it's nonchalant.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't lose his shit online. So,
Yep.
which is a positive. Some guys I've seen lose their shit online and just really totally go off, but I've done it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
It's not
What's
worth
that?
it. Over
no,
words,
you gotta learn to let social media not bother you, especially fandom. That's not necessarily bother you. You know what I mean?
gotten some hate before online, and I just think it's funny if someone took time out their day to,
Try to get you
kind
riled
of
up.
like, man, that's awesome. You're thinking, I don't even know who the fuck you are. That's the way I look at it. I mean,
Well, I'll be honest with you. How did I meet you? I met JJ through Twitter and Danny through YouTube, and so it's like we all started following each other through social media in one shape or another, and that's how I met. So I mean, it could be very positive, you know what I mean? But 98% of the chance, it's a bunch of bullshit, and it's just aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of YouTube for 9 years now, so YouTube's mostly positive. YouTube's mostly positive, but then you have that 1%, but you just ignore the 1% and focus on that 99% of the positive.
Well, I'm always getting people to try to sell porn on my comments, so I mean,
Jeez. Is it the foot fetish? It's the foot fetish porn.
It's like hotgirls.com or some bullshit. I'm just like,
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, I usually just block them and report them like right away. I'm just like, I don't need this kind of bullshit.
I hate those fucking comments that you get in your video. They're like, "Hey, great video. You want to be YouTube friends?" And it's like, no.
Yeah. You get into people asking to collaborate, and I'm just like, I don't want to collaborate with you. Like, I don't know what the hell you do. You're trying to sell some stupid product. I have nothing to offer you. Same thing with Instagram. I get people trying to I wear a stupid T-shirt in a fucking Instagram post, and then I get these fashion designers trying to fucking message me all the time. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
What is that?
I'm wearing a fucking Red Holiday shirt,
I don't understand that. I've gotten comments like, "Hey, for a collab, DM me."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, if you want me to collab with you, you fucking DM me, and we'll go from there. What do you want from me? The fuck? And I've gotten that on so many pictures, and I asked my sister, I told her how I felt. She's like, you know what? Go with your instinct.
Right.
Like, what do you want?
I mean, Dan and I met through a mutual friend, Nick Kurtz.
Right.
So, that turned out well. So
Dan
yeah,
and I
some
were,
You know
Dan
what?
and I were,
Funny story. Bringing up the DVD Freak. It was so funny how me and Nick Kurtz interacted or first met each other at the wrestling show last year in January. Mistaken me for the DVD Freak, and he was just like, "Oh, I thought you were somebody else," and I'm just like, "Well, I didn't see that coming."
is he a Connecticut guy as well?
No,
Or
he's
no?
from
New York, I think he's
I
from.
believe it's New
Okay, so
York.
it's not that far. It's just kind of comical that Dan ended up living 2 towns over from me. So
Yeah.
in a way,
But you know what? It was so funny interacting with Nick, and then it was like, "Oh, you ever heard of the DVD Freak?" And I'm like, "Well, I wasn't really familiar with like certain YouTubers at the time, but when I looked it up, I was like, oh, I'm already subscribed to his channel." So I was like, "All right, I'm pretty familiar with who he is." And then like a year later, he was Nick was like the first guy I told. I was like, hey, I got a YouTube now. Um, is there any chance of me getting some in touch with the DVD Freak some way somehow? And ended up turning them to the WrestleMania prediction video, and I was like, oh fuck, I was so excited. And
Yeah, with Wrestling Rampage. Yeah. Yep.
I'll be right back, gentlemen. Keep talking. I'll be right
Wrestling
back.
Rampage.
you know what, that definitely turned out to be a very great and humbling experience. And now here I am, 7 months into my YouTube career, and thanks to the DVD Freak, as I must say, I am at 122 subscribers as of today.
Hey,
Ooh.
I told you I'd get you to 100 by the end of the week, and I wasn't wrong, was I? So.
No, you know what? It was so funny because it's like I went to bed and I totally forgot about it until I woke up and I'm like 103. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And then I'm like, oh, like I caught your message after, and I was like, oh man, he actually did it. You know, and once again, I really got to thank you for that. Um, I just been receiving so much positive feedback. You know, just between my YouTube channel and doing the show with you guys. You know, getting to meet a great guy like JJ Sins and you know, Rick. You know, guys have definitely changed my life around, and this is the most involved I've ever been in the wrestling community.
You know, I help out the people that I feel deserve it, because I get a lot of people that ask me for shout outs and stuff, but I help out the people that deserve it, and I felt like you deserved it. So, well, obviously you deserved it. So, you know, yeah,
What are
you
we talking
deserve it,
about,
man.
guys? I'm back, guys. What are we talking about?
My success.
I knew you'd reach more than 100. When you told me you're, what was it, 116 a couple of days ago, you were like, I'm shocked. And I was like, dude, why are you shocked, man? Like, you have a
It'll
great
happen over
channel.
time. Yeah, yeah, dude. I watch it every single video. So I watch even Dan and JJ DVD Freak. Any new video that's posted, I've been watching. So
Yeah, like I said, I help out the people that I feel deserve it, and you
that's
definitely
awesome.
fucking deserved it, for
Yeah.
sure.
Dan does a lot of awesome stuff on this page, so it's really enjoyable. I'm glad to
And
call you guys
you
friends, man.
you have one of the best catchphrases on YouTube.
What are you doing?
I pop every time.
Well, now I know for future reference what a T-shirt's gonna look like. You know.
Yeah, never stop doing that, man. That's marketable.
Doing? But you gotta spell it WYDABOIN with an apostrophe. What are you doing? Yeah,
And even if I tried, I couldn't sell it as good as you do.
You'll get a good one at the end of the show here, so don't worry.
There you go.
But anyway, to continue on with some more wrestling discussions, I had actually found an article today about Antonio Inoki and his heart's having problems.
Yes.
So not sure if that's COVID related, and the only reason why I say that is because Boston Red Sox pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez actually had some heart scans or biopsies today on his heart due to COVID-related symptoms. So, I mean, just praying the best for Antonio Inoki. Obviously, he's the legend of Japan all around. He had some matches with, I believe, Ric Flair and numerous others.
Muhammad Ali. He was the former WWF World Martial Arts Champion. He was definitely made quite a few WWF appearances in the late 70s, early 80s, and is trained by the legend that is Carl Gotch. Look him up if you three have never seen him. Yes, I love Carl Gotch, man. He's one of the greatest. Yeah, great. Phenomenal.
When I went to WrestleMania 34, I met Simon Gotch, one of the coolest guys I've ever met. So
why? Why does everybody keep saying that? He blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why.
Why did he block you? What did you say?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to tell you guys. Let me tell you, the three of you and anybody that's listening, there's certain guys I could see why they blocked me. Joey Ryan, I don't understand why he blocked me. I criticize his character, but I always say he was a really fucking nice guy. But, the guy's a fucking pedophile or whatever the fuck he is. Oh, shit. Did I say that on air? I'm good, bud. So Grado, I can understand why he blocked me because I did criticize his stupid gimmick. But Simon Gotch, I spoke nothing but positive things about because I always thought he was like a legit grappler and shooter and all that stuff. That guy could actually work. For some reason, the fucker blocked me. No idea. I said nothing but positive things about that fucking guy. And at the Wrestling Classic in Windsor Locks in September, I'm going to confront the guy and ask him why he blocked me. I'm telling you right now.
Jeez. Yeah, like,
I had his autograph. Dude, he was totally cool. I met him in somewhere downtown in Chicago. I think it was at Joe's on Weed Street. It was at a Zello Pro show. Yeah. And I met him. Dude, I was expecting him to be kind of a dick because of what I saw, like, on his shoot videos. Dude, he was totally fucking cool, man. So that's weird.
When he goes in his shoot interview, I think it was an RF video or something like that. One of his shoot interviews, I don't know if it was RF or wherever the fuck he did the shoot interview. He came all across as being like a cool dude. The way he criticized his WWE career and the other wrestlers in WWE, I was all on board and agreed with anything he was saying. Fucker blocked me. I'm very upset.
Yeah, I was walking down Bourbon Street. And my friend and I went to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. And he's like, dude, that's Simon Gotch. So we just walked up to him, and he was perfectly fine. Took a picture with him. And he was cool. He shook my hand and talked to me. So he's a cool guy.
Well, don't worry, we're gonna settle this in September.
Well, that'll probably be the only time I meet Simon Gotch. I haven't met him anything prior to meeting him this September. So I can't really say nothing good, and I can't really say anything bad. Only thing is, he's got a nice mustache. Let's put it that way.
He has one hell of a mustache.
When you type in, I'm going to say, speaking of which, when you type in Antonio Inoki into Google, the first thing that comes up is Antonio Inoki's chin. Just saying. Just saying.
Got a rowdy ass chin, bro. Not gonna lie. Rowdy ass fucking chin.
It's pretty comical. It's pretty cool.
That's all I gotta say. No more respect.
And not to mention, also, was it yesterday? Regis Philbin passed away. Gigantic personality who's also, very important to the wrestling world, especially in the 60s, 70s, 80s. When he was a television personality, he had a great relationship with Freddie Blassie, and he always, through his talk show, always had guys on. I remember, I think one of the last episodes before he retired, I think he had Triple H on. If I remember correctly. I'm trying to match up the time period, but he passed away. Very big wrestling personality. Always had WWF guys on his television show.
I'm always a big mark for game shows. It's kind of a guilty pleasure because I know they're stupid, they're rigged, but dude, I love Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
No, I'm a huge trivia. Like when it comes to like game shows, it's like trivia. Like I'll watch Jeopardy every night.
Yeah, my girlfriend makes fun of me because I watch game shows.
Nope. I'll watch like trivia ones are like the trivia ones are the kind that get me. I'll sit there, but once Wheel of Fortune comes on, I usually change the channel. But
You know what? One show that I missed that I remember vividly having WWF stars on was I think it was Fear Factor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that. Is that the one
Oh
with
my God.
what's his face? Was that the one with Joe Rogan in the 90s or
Yes.
earlier 2000s? Yeah.
Yep.
I think the Hardys. Was it the Hardys?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Hardys, Lita, I believe Ivory, Test.
Mm-hmm.
I don't but I know about this.
Didn't the Hardys win that whole thing?
I believe so.
I didn't
And
answer that
then
'cause I have.
I remember they were doing a reality because The Miz was on The Real World at the time. So they were doing like reality TV, and The Miz was on it. I don't know about you guys. I like The Miz, but
I think
I
he's
remember-
very talented. It's funny that you're mentioning him because I just watched this video. I don't know if it was a Cultaholic or some bullshit on YouTube. One of those YouTube Fruit Loops that was on there. They were talking about how the Miz was just really fucking annoying when he came in. He had the fucking corny ass haircut. He was wearing like the jean short type things, and he was just annoying. And I was just like, the guy was such a cornball. But once he started wrestling,
he used to rock for their fedoras, and at that time, I
Yes!
was rocking.
yes.
yes,
But
yes.
the thing is, I'd rock them, and I would look like a cholo because I'm Mexican.
I haven't heard in a long time, bro.
I would
I
rock
used
it, bro.
I used to wear fedoras. Yeah.
I would look straight up like a cholo, but it worked.
I think that he ended up being one of the most talented guys on the roster today. I can actually still watch him. It's his tag team partner that's not very good. I'm sorry. Nice as hell guy, his tag team partner. I just don't think he's very good in the ring. Personal opinion.
You're not a Morrison fan?
No.
That'll stir some shit.
What can I say? I met him probably 2-3 years ago. I think Dan was actually at the same show as before we knew each other. I think Dan had mentioned it. I met him, thought he was a really fucking cool dude. He gave me a copy of this crappy movie. He's like, he said, do me a favor, watch this and do an Amazon review for me. That's exactly it. And he gave me the movie. It's still sitting sealed in my basement. So it looks so bad. Was it the Boone the Bounty Hunter or something like that?
I watched that, bro. I got that at the Dollar Tree.
Well,
I'm not surprised.
And I remember watching it with I watched it with one of my girlfriends. I got her into wrestling, and we both watched it, chilled, and we were like, you know what? This movie wasn't that bad. It wasn't.
Eventually, once I get through all my other DVDs or something, I might, once I get through all the good ones, I might pull out that. But
anyone that knows WWE DVD releases will know that probably the worst of all time is John Morrison Rockstar. So
I've never seen.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's a 1-disc set, and it's him doing Pardcore. It's him doing ECW 2010 matches. It's shit.
I can imagine.
We went pretty long for a pretty good show, man. I gotta watch more NWA Power. I gotta admit that.
Dude, I think that I didn't decide, but I think Dan and I were talking the other day. Once the NWA starts back up again, we want to start covering it on a regular basis. If you gentlemen are in, more than happy to have you guys. Especially, I'm hoping that they do another pay-per-view at some point.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what. I didn't see any of Power, and after watching this pay-per-view, I regret saying that. I wish I would have seen Power, and hopefully I can get the season 1 DVD.
It is all up on YouTube if you feel like you want to watch it on the NWA YouTube page. Everything that they've done between the 10 Pounds of Gold, it's a YouTube series, whatever it's called, Power. So, and then you get to see such greats as George South, C.W. Anderson pops up eventually, Tim Storm, Thunder Rosa. There's just an amazing roster there. and Colt Cabana's in there. Is he in the first season? I think he might leave the first or second season. I don't remember exactly when he leaves. But really, that's honestly my favorite series. Like that was, when that was airing or on YouTube, whenever that was my favorite. Tuesday night was the night that I would sit down, make sure I was in front of the TV at 6 o'clock to watch it. Between that and then AEW Dark.
You said C.W. Anderson?
Yeah, he was in there the last season, the previous
I
season.
mean, one of my favorite matches is C.W. Anderson and Tommy Dreamer from Guilty as Charged 2001. So
I'm gonna have to check that out. 2001, you said? Is that what you said?
Yep, that's a DVD that's on its way, and for some fucking reason, the post office is holding that. So I have to go pick it up. I'm gonna tell you something.
I mailed many packages out, and I don't know why things have not arrived to their destination. They probably should have been there 2 weeks ago. I'm quite upset about it.
Yeah, I'm waiting on Guilty as Charged 2001. That was supposed to be here last Wednesday, and it's still not here. So pretty pissed off about that.
Well, things are happening in the world. People are freaking out, so shipping is taking forever. I have things I've ordered in April and still have yet to receive. So I'm pretty pissed off. But, I got to tell you something. As many people might criticize Pro Wrestling Loot. I've gotten my package every single time. Pro Wrestling Crate, got my package every time. High Spots, I've gotten my package the fastest from anybody. Those dudes, I can order on Monday. It'll be here by Thursday or Friday. You know what I mean? Those dudes are really on top of their game. I know we fucking basically talk so much hype about them, Dan and I, every fucking show about all the fucking products that, I love them. They're really fast in shipping, good prices.
But let me tell you what, Rick. I am so fucking hyped for this Friday because you and I finally get to meet in person, and we're gonna meet an ECW legend. We're gonna meet a Tough Enough winner, and we're gonna meet a guy who loves to lose. So let's put it that way. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, who's the one that loves to lose?
Kurt Hawkins.
Oh God. Yep.
Okay. Hey, whoa. DVD freak, what the hell are you talking about here? He's underrated, but I say that about
I think
he's really good. I'm really psyched that he just joined. Was it last week, Dan? They did a vignette and he's joining the Impact roster. I'm very excited about that. So I'm really excited. We're going to a meet and greet Friday afternoon. Brian Myers, Justin Credible. What the hell is the other guy's name? Nate.
I wish I could go with you.
If you fly out here, you can make it. You'll make it in time.
Fly out there?
Yeah, why not?
Like they're really cheap right now. I could if I really wanted to, but
I've heard rumors of flights at $67, $77, stuff like that. So
Yeah, and that ain't shit. But I mean, if I were to dip out, I'd hear it, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, man, there's a lot of really cool. This store that we're going to has signings like once every other week. Justin Credible's there every single fucking Friday. You know what I mean? It seems like they do a lot of online sales, so I'm pretty psyched. I have some action figures coming in mail, which I plan to bring with me. Really fucking hoping that I get one of them on time. They say it's supposed to arrive the day after, but I'm praying that it actually comes the day of.
Hey,
it's coming from Florida.
But you win in that raffle, you're gonna get it.
I bet you win. Well, I had to basically email them or message them a couple times. I won the Pro Wrestling Loot raffle. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was actually. If I find it, gentlemen, speak amongst yourself, and I will find the item.
Are you guys planning on filming a vlog together for the channel?
I am. We're hoping to. We're hoping to do like an on the road type thing, like series.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, we something called maybe Pro Wrestle Travels, Pro Wrestle Zone Travels, or something like that. We're in the car and it's like, hey, we're finally meeting each other, and it's like cool as shit.
Yeah.
And I finally decided on what I wanted to get signed. Obviously, I'm going to get something separate for Kurt Hawkins, but I am going to bring the Hardcore Championship DVD that was released like 2-3 years back, and yeah, got two former Hardcore champions there. I think Maven won the title like 2 or 3 times, and just Incredible is an 8-time. I know one of the times he won at Insurrection, and I believe the others were like house shows or probably segments we had on Raw or SmackDown.
I mean, I know you messaged me about that earlier. I mean, what else is Maven gonna sign? I mean, maybe Royal Rumble when he eliminated Taker.
I just watched that the other night, actually, for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but the first time in 18 years I just watched it. One of the things that it's funny that you said that because I bought an action figure of Maven and it should be here the day of. I'm praying.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know why I actually went online and said, "Oh, let me get an action figure." So I'm hoping that it actually shows up on like Wednesday. It cost me $13.
Something I would have. Rick, that's something I would have done, bro.
Seriously, yeah, I bought a Just Incredible figure as well, but I'm just like, if it doesn't arrive on time, the other thing is like he fucking lives in Waterbury, which is like 20 minutes from here, Dan's hometown. I'm gonna see him again because he's at that store like every week, it seems like, or every other week. This is the raffle that I won. Hang on. I won prize pack number 2. I won a banner, a 2 Sweet banner. It's autographed by AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Finn Balor.
There you go.
Then I won a Pentagon 8x10. I already have an 8x10 autographed by Pentagon, but this is a different one. And Brian Pillman Jr. But I already have that, so I don't know why they're giving me another one. Maybe they're just having shit.
What was that you held up thing, DVD for?
Go ahead.
This is the WWE released a Finn Balor DVD, and in the UK, they had, I think, limited to around 1,000. They had a Finn Balor with an alternate cover, and he signed covers. And I was able to have it imported due to a friend who lives in the UK. So
does it come with a COA?
No COA. No, but this is a pretty public event.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can always tell by looking at the autograph if it's real or not. And something I actually bought this morning, it was a bundle on eBay, which I plan on probably flipping. But it was a Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Rhino, and Bubba Ray autograph set.
Oh.
And I already have a Daniel Bryan, so I don't have a Seth Rollins, so I'm probably going to keep that one. But I plan on flipping the Daniel Bryan one because I already have his autograph.
Right. That's one I'd like to get. I wonder where I could actually find one.
Dude, I'll just send it to you. If you really want it, I'll send it to you.
Well, fuck yeah. All right. Just hit me up.
Yeah, dude, I'll send it to you for free. I don't care.
Well, all right.
Oh, yeah, DVD freak. I think I have a Daniel Bryan DVD. I'm sure you have it. I don't know. I've been meaning to show it to you. And I'll do it after we're done. I'll take a picture of it. I got to look for it. But I'm pretty sure I have a Daniel Bryan DVD. And,
is it this one?
Oh. It says Bryan Danielson on it. It says American Dragon.
No.
Is that
I gotta find it. I don't know if I sold it or not.
Is that the one from High Spots / Pro Wrestling Crate? Like it came from Pro Wrestling Crate.
Yeah, well, he was only Bryan Danielson outside of WWE, so.
Yeah, they did High Spots actually put together something like a 6-disc set of Bryan Danielson matches outside of WWE stuff.
That's awesome.
I never bought it, but I looked at it in person when they had it at a show I went to, and I really wanted to buy it, but was low on cash, physical cash on me that night that I saw it. So I should go online and buy it because I think it's only like $20 from High Spots, but there's like a ton of shit on there from Japan and indies and stuff like that. That's really fucking awesome looking. I think that Pro Wrestling Crate might have distributed like a shortened version in their one of their monthly crates.
Yeah, I mean, he's my favorite modern wrestler. So
yeah, he's definitely up there. I saw him wrestle Kamala at an indie show.
Oh, there you go.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of indie shows, Leo Rush had his final match against Joey Janela.
I'm not a Leo Rush fan.
Did Janela kill him? I'm not necessarily a Leo Rush fan either, but I discovered that when you get past the annoying character, he's actually very good. You know, because I think that his character is what annoyed me the most when he first came into WWE. I wasn't familiar with his indie work. I was aware of his. Yeah, I was aware of him, but I didn't really see him. He was in Evolve too. Is that true, JJ?
I believe so. I don't know. I saw him many a time in that. What was it? At a Freelance show. I saw him wrestle. I think that was the one of his last shows before he jumped to NXT. And man, that was a rowdy ass match, man. It was cool. And I think it's the last leg. I know he's an indie wrestler. I've seen him wrestle a lot, and that dude stands out. I don't understand why that guy is not signed to NXT. No bullshit. I'm not trying to blow smoke anybody up anyone's ass, but Isaiah Velasquez, who's based in Chicago, he's an indie wrestler. He's special, man. There's something.
Yeah.
And see, Freelance had him wrestling Leo Rush for a reason. You know, Leo Rush was that match is fucking rowdy, bro. That's all I got.
I'm gonna have to look for that at some point. That sounds like a pretty enjoyable.
You want to look. You're gonna want to look for. You're gonna want to check out Wrestling with Unicorns. I believe he has a.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, dude, that dude's cool, man. I forgot his real name, but him and I ran into each other at a few shows, and dude's totally fucking cool, bro. His real forgot it, and he told me, "Oh, I don't even like people knowing." You know, I understand that shit, but he was a totally cool dude, and that dude's at every fucking show recording. It's like, man, I got nothing respect for that dude. You know, but yeah, it's a good show out here. It's a good scene in Chicago. Unfortunately, I worked too much, so but yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know much about any shows. Like, I don't think there's any shows coming up other than the one that Dan and I plan on attending to August 16th, Test of Strength Wrestling, which is Slick Wagner Brown. Do you guys familiar with Slick Wagner Brown? Anybody? It doesn't look like it.
No. You know what? Now that you said that name, speaking of Slick, I have a friend who used to work with me. And he's actually training right now with Slick.
They're called the Kowalski guys, right? That's the name of their tag team because they were both trained by Killer Kowalski. So, yeah, Slick is awesome. He runs his school / promotion called Test of Strength out of East Hartford, and they're gonna be running the show. They're running the show August 16th. You got to wear a mask. It's outdoors, and I plan on going to that. You know, provided nothing crazy happens, like
say mask.
You know,
bro.
See, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna show up in a lucha mask and I'd be like, "Yo, I thought you guys said masks."
That's fucking around.
Show up as Blue Blazer.
You said masks.
Play the song on your phone while you show up. Like, it's, you know.
I think that song was fucking phenomenal. I loved it when it was around. It was like watching like some 70s like Wide World of Sports or something, like the intro or something, like the song. You know what I mean? I think those crazy intros.
Rowdy song, I love it. It fits Blue Blazer.
Well, I'm pretty drunk at this point, so.
I'm fucked up, bro. Look I had a whole bottle of wine, and look at it.
Dude,
I love it. I love it.
I'm very fucked up too.
That's awesome. That's
You're
awesome.
fucked up.
That's part of the
DVD.
show. So we need to change the name. It's like the Fucked Up Podcast or something.
I had 2 Bud Light Platinums, which are 6%, so they're not regular beers. I had one of the big Miller Lights, and then I had 2 shots of vodka. So
I'm
You
ready
drink
for a
vodka
bag.
straight? You drink vodka straight?
Don't forget to take
yeah,
your
I like
vitamins.
it. Here, I'll take a shot straight right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shit.
Duty free. I will drink some wine with you.
All right, cheers.
I got my adult chocolate milk. Dan's the only one over there. The
Listen,
Blue
I'm the
Blazer
Blue
over there.
Blazer. I got my vitamins.
I
damn it.
forgot. You got your
Oh.
milk.
Like fucking.
I got my vitamins. I'm gonna say my prayers and drink my milk tonight.
Fuck that. I'm not
Dan,
driving.
take your face away. Take your hands away, Dan.
Oh man.
Don't. Hell no. I look horrible in that photo.
Oh God.
Hold up. Where is it?
Looks like something
I'm gonna take it.
paranormal.
Photo me.
I'm just gonna edit Dan out, or Dan edit.
Here, my eyes are closed in that one.
So Rick.
Around.
So
What's
yeah.
up, buddy?
So it better be a good photo.
Don't worry. I'll put it. I'll make sure that everything has a really good photo. So
I'm fucking with you. I don't really. Shit.
it doesn't matter. It's Sunday night.
Oh, okay. Bro, I was laying down. I'm like, holy shit. I haven't relaxed in like I don't know how long. I just like turned my phone off. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not. I'm good. I don't want to be bothered. But it happens, you know?
Yeah, I want to apologize for being very unprepared because I'm used to us starting at 10.
Let me tell you, I was not prepared either, but I was also like, my house was empty at an earlier hour, so
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
so
was
like, fuck it, let's start. I text. No.
Are you all an hour ahead of me?
We're all on the East Coast, yes. So you're the only one that's way out there. So you got to get it. You got to get it together.
JJ.
No.
JJ, where are you?
I love.
Where are
JJ.
you at?
Chicago.
Okay,
Yeah.
He's in
You?
a phenomenal wrestle center.
there you go.
Yeah. Only like
Actually, the two of you are in areas that were very familiar with the sport. They're very popular with the sport.
Yep.
So
You're in Philly? DVD free?
What's
Right?
that?
You're in, right?
I'm in Pennsylvania, yeah, and whenever I go to wrestling events, I travel to Baltimore and Philly. So
see,
That's awesome. And those, whenever they're showing those areas, that crowd is, whoo, that's
Yep.
a fucking crowd.
especially if it was either EW or the legendary Bruno Sammartino was in town. So there's two different, things that could have happened in the state of Philadelphia.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I know Philly's a rough, rowdy crowd. Yeah,
It's a great city. It's a great city.
I also my first wrestling event was in Hershey, PA, at the Giant Center. They go there somewhat quite often. They usually go there like twice a year, but the only pay-per-view, I think the last pay-per-view in Hershey was Unforgiven 2003. So we don't really get pay-per-views like in like 45 minutes away, so I usually have to travel to Baltimore.
How far is that?
It's like an hour. It's like an hour. It's not that bad.
Well, the last pay-per-view that we had here in Connecticut was Money in the Bank 2019, which I was at.
I was there. Jesus Christ, Dan, we've been at all these events, just got together.
And you know what? It was so weird because that was the first WWE pay-per-view since, I believe, Vengeance 2004.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the ending of Money in the Bank 2019.
Oh, don't get
so
me
many
started.
people. Hey, whoa! Let's not start. I think it was completely underrated because the reason why it got over with me is because it was totally fucking unexpected. It came out of nowhere. That's why I loved it so much. And that is supposed to be the element of surprise and what makes professional wrestling so great is that it just came out of fucking nowhere. People are.
I love Brock Lesnar.
Another high five there, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
The way I look at it, when Brock wants to have a good match, he can put on the best match of the night.
Yeah, and it's most likely the case. To be honest with you, he's done some phenomenal work. But I think that when his music hit, I think I was the only person that jumped out of my seat in excitement because people were the entire arena was like, boo, you know how that fucking happens, and I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever because it came out of nowhere. Nobody expected that shit.
Do I have to put on the Brock Lesnar gloves?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
I have the Brock Lesnar box set.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I also go to Washington D.C. That's where I went to the first Dynamite. Was in D.C. at the Capital One Arena.
Right.
So cool. And you witnessed history. You were at that's fucking badass. Dude.
I kept the ticket stubs because I knew it would be historic, man.
Right.
That's same thing I would have done. Was historic. Save everything that you can from the show.
Yep. I have 2 ticket stubs. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, these days I keep everything. When I was younger, I didn't keep as much, but these days I put everything in a drawer when I get home. Ticket stubs, anything. I box up all my autographs and boxes.
You know what? Speaking of ticket stubs,
I wish I took care of my ticket stubs. I have a decent amount, but they're all worn out. From me seeing like Glass Jaw, all these obscure.
These are all my ticket stubs.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Damn, bro.
Holy shit.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome that you kept all those. I don't have nearly as many.
Well, this is a mix between mostly Northeast Wrestling, the one Monday Night Raw that I went to in 2016, the Money in the Bank event, and then a couple Red Sox tickets, and then my Armored Saint concert.
Was it 2016 one in Hartford?
Yes, that was the 2016 one in Hartford. That was the debut match of Gallows and Anderson taking on the Usos.
I'm trying to remember if that's the one that I was at, because Raw was there twice that year.
That was the infamous story I told you about me crossing the street while Ric Flair was watching in his car.
That's fucking bro.
I think one was in October, which was actually on Halloween, and then one was maybe in the winter before that, February, March, something like that.
That one I didn't go to.
I went to the first one in the part of the year, not the October one. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first one was in like April or May of that year.
Right. Yeah, that's the one that I went to.
I think I still might have.
The Brock Lesnar gloves are officially on.
Gosh.
DVD Freak is in character now.
Yes.
Be careful.
I'm just going to be an asshole for the rest of it so I can be in Brock Lesnar character.
All right, so what else we got? What else we got, fellas? Anybody want to bring up anything outside of Regis and Antonio Inoki?
I don't think we ever even talked about the finish of the 2 out of 3 falls match.
Oh, shit. We didn't even get to that? I don't even remember, honestly, what happened.
I don't think we even finished the pay-per-view review.
I think we started discussing I think we ended up starting to discuss the All-In version versus the NWA 7 rematch. 70 rematch, excuse me.
So basically, the end of this match was Aldis tried to go for a clover leaf. Cody's boot comes off, and he goes for a
that's right.
kind of
yep, that's right.
package. And Nick Aldis basically turns it around and rolls him up, and we have a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I think he's. If I could be bold, make a bold statement. You guys might think I'm fucking insane. I think Nick Aldis is the greatest NWA World Champion since, say, Dan Severn. That's going back, 1995
is that Dan the Beast Severn?
Dan the Beast Severn, yes. So, I mean, and prior to that, the NWA really suffered throughout the 90s and earlier 2000s. They had the Colorado Kid, Mike Rapada, as a fucking champion at one time. No offense to Mike Rapada. But you get what I'm saying here. They did not necessarily, they had a bunch of really great champions, but I think Nick Aldis is holding that belt. Nick Aldis is holding that belt with a lot of class, presenting it as if he's a guy, on the level of Harley Race and Flair, and guys like such as that nature.
I was just about to ask you that question. What excludes Ric Flair and Harley Race from being one of the greatest NWA World Champions of all time?
No. I just said he was the greatest since.
Yeah, he said since. Yeah.
Since, because trust me, I'm just going to say that Flair is possibly the greatest of all time. And I think that I've said that here before. Yep. He's not my favorite. Arn Anderson's my favorite of all time. But I'm just saying, he doesn't necessarily have to be. I think that Flair is the greatest of all time. But he's not my favorite wrestler of all time. He's just the greatest professional wrestler of all time. He's accomplished so much in the entire industry. And, to be how many times did he hold the NWA belt? Was it 6 or 7 times just as the NWA?
I want to say
before 8 times? Was it 8 times? Okay.
I want to say that.
Okay. It's very, possible. We're hitting 2 hours. It's pretty awesome.
I will always say full package, promo, in-ring, everything you need to be a wrestler, Ric Flair is the greatest of all time.
And he is the greatest showman as well. Like, he was able to talk people into the arena.
I think Benoit is the greatest technical, but I think he was lacking in promo.
Yeah.
I will always say that. As much as Benoit is my all-time favorite wrestler. But
I was on that level, but I always thought Arn was my favorite, but Benoit was like right underneath him. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But I think that, they're two different styles in a way, because when Benoit was alive and on performing during his tenure, he was my favorite wrestler of all time. Arn had already been retired at that time, so who the hell am I gonna like? But
I'll match you gentlemen there. Yes, Benoit was probably one of the best technical wrestlers. Obviously, he liked the most. But someone who I think had both in-ring promo skills and technical skills, no, I'm not going to say Owen Hart. Yes, I love Owen Hart, but I honestly have to say it's Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt is definitely an amazing performer as well. The amazing athlete, and that dude could work his ass off. JG, do you want to get in on this? Give your opinion on the... You seem pretty quiet there, pal. I think that, yeah.
I agree, Ric Flair. However, yeah, you're right. He isn't my favorite wrestler. Favorite wrestler probably Hart. But yeah, I agree with you. Ric Flair is the man. He drew asses to seats. He drew a lot of fucking money.
Yes. He also spent a lot of his money that he made.
Fucking night, 60 minutes. And you party afterwards, right? Party, drink. I identify with that. So,
he'd get 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, you'd get 2 hours of sleep and be up at the airport, running to the next town, the next day,
Ric Flair wasn't a gimmick. Ric Flair lived the gimmick. Ric Flair was Ric Flair.
Yep.
Exactly. And it's like, like when I was on the road, working for a clothing line, that's all I got to say. I was JJ. I was JJ, J5. Whatever nickname you want to call me. Maverick, J5, JJ Thin, JJ Pocket. Yeah. So.
This is very off topic, but I don't know if anyone has seen the Al Snow shoot interview where he said that drawing money is more important than match quality.
I've heard people say that. It all depends on the fan.
Let's put it this way.
Company.
Let's put it this way: you need to have good match quality to enable to draw money. That's the way I see it.
if you look at it, Herb Abrams did not draw money. He had a lot of great, talented people working for him. But was there any really fucking good matches in the UWF? Let's be serious here. So
Some fun happened outside in the hotel.
yeah, So I mean, I'm just. No offense, Herb. Rest in peace. All that shit. But so,
And I remember watching this, and whoever was narrating was like, Herb Abrams loved his cocaine, loved his hookers, and he died with his cocaine and his hookers. And I'm like, you know what, man?
He died a happy man. So that's what he's into. He died a happy man.
Ass off. I put that on my Snap. And I'm like, man, if I'm going to go out anyway, that's the fucking way to go out. But I don't need to buy hookers. Like, hell no. I don't need that shit.
But in serious, wait, hold on. What was the question again? What was the statement again?
Okay.
Tragedy.
Basically,
it's the vodka, the Kahlua.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But so basically, the question was, Al Snow stated, money means more than match quality. Like, because he said Andre and Hogan was the best match of WrestleMania 3. Whereas, obviously, most wrestling fans would say Steamboat Macho Man.
Okay.
That's a whole big debate.
I understand the statement because if you watch it, it's not really good match, but it's fun to watch as a fan because you see it's the crowd that's mostly getting you excited for it. If you're watching it, it's a fun match, but the actual great match is the Steamboat Savage match. But it's like the Hogan, Andre, there's a lot of build up to it for months and months and months. And then you watch it, they do a great promo before the match. And then there's just, once they get into the ring, the crowd is just fucking electric. I mean, it was electric for the Steamboat Savage, but it's two different levels. You know what I mean? It's like Savage and Steamboat was like a technical masterpiece we always said and stated that's like you watch the main events. The main events aren't necessarily the fucking greatest match in WWE history, unless you'd have to watch Flair and the NWA for like a great technical main event, and that was still fucking intense. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anything I'm saying making sense to anybody? But
yes, yeah. I'm not that intoxicated. I am pretty fucked up, but not that fucked up.
Right. I'm beyond fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's what this podcast is about, getting fucked up and talking wrestling.
Well, am I the only one that looks fucked up here?
How long have you been wearing that fucking mask?
It's going on and off for quite a while.
No,
keep it on, man.
That's what she said. Keep the mask on.
Oh, come on, guys. I'm not psychosis.
Howdy, man. So we had a good episode. How long did we go? What, 2.5 hours?
2:07 at present time.
Damn.
I'm having fun. You guys.
It's been a blast. Love it.
So, what are we doing? So for the month of August, everybody has chosen their favorite SummerSlam, or I wouldn't say necessarily favorite, but SummerSlam that we want to cover. We had all pretty much decided that we're not going to discuss WWE anymore outside of the Big Four pay-per-views. The four of us, I believe, agreed. Is this correct, gentlemen?
Yeah, fuck yes.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I'm just saying because after the horror show, I'm like to just rephrase that, the shit show that was Extreme Rules. I don't think that I would like to cover WWE unless we can say anything positive about the product.
So that meaning we will never cover it again.
Well, we have also just decided that we will cover the Big Four because those tend to be the ones they put the most heart into. So we will find out come August because as we made that statement just about a week or so ago, the Big one of the big four is coming up in 3 weeks. So each of us have chosen our favorite SummerSlam to cover for the next month. I'm sure we might do something similar come November for Survivor Series and so on, if any of us are talking to each other by then. But you never know. Go ahead, DVD Freak.
I want to rephrase. The SummerSlam I picked is not my favorite SummerSlam.
Okay.
I just chose it because it's so interesting. I chose 2007 because of how interesting it is and how many... I feel like it's a very underrated SummerSlam, not for the quality, but for why it changed the way it did. Because obviously it was 2 months after Benoit. And I think it's a very interesting story that hasn't really been told. So, I want to get everyone's opinion on it and cover it. My favorite SummerSlam is 2002. But,
well, it doesn't necessarily have to be our favorite SummerSlam. It just happens to be the ones we chose for a particular reason. I, being the one that chose the very first one, 1988. Also, we had decided, I guess Dan and I had discussed that we'll go in chronological order because I guess it makes sense that we'll go in chronological order. So I'm going to start off with 1988, which is the very first SummerSlam. The reason why I chose it is it's the first pay-per-view I actually purchased.
Oh, wow.
Being a wrestling fan. So there was a certain significance to that, and for some reason, there's just the main event is, I wouldn't say tremendous, but there's only two really great wrestlers in that fucking ring out of the four that are involved. But I don't know. There's some sort of importance into it. It's kind of like a changing period in the World Wrestling Federation at the time periods. There's guys in there that are coming in, they're just about to leave. Some of them would pop up in the AWA or NWA for the final remaining days, and that's pretty much the story, man. There's just a reason. And JJ, I think, if I remember correctly, I have them all on file somewhere.
It's 89.
I think you chose 89, which I think is a fun one as well, if I remember correctly.
That's the whole infused, no holds barred. Dude, I remember that happened as it happened, and I'm like 4 years old. So that meant everything else. I was a little Hulkster, dude. I had the Vitamins, bro.
I mean, that was a thing. I think, not that we're going to discuss it obviously when it happens in a couple weeks, but I was sold on that fucking main event. I'm going to tell you that much. maybe it's the mark in me, and or me being an adult, I watch it and still say to myself, there was some potential there with Zeus and Tiny Lister. I mean, the guy had a lot of size. The guy had size. I'm telling you, call me fucking crazy, but
it was believable. I remember seeing this dude. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be Hulk. He's gonna be Hulk Hogan. And 5-year-old JJ Sins. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm this little JJ, and I'm like, holy crap! In my head, I'm like, oh, is he gonna be Hulk? And it drew me in. It drew my parents in. It drew my sister in, my grandparents in. So, and give a shout out to my grandparents who are no longer here. But one for my grandma and my grandpa, I'm gonna be a wrestling fan. So
So JJ, my question to you is, what was your reaction to the WrestleMania 6?
I wanted Ultimate Warrior to win. I remember I changed, in like an instant, like a little drone. I was so I was about to turn 6 years old. I'm the same age as WrestleMania. I was like in shock, just like, oh my god, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior won. I wanted Ultimate Warrior to win because I jumped on that bandwagon, but then I'm like seeing Hulk Hogan on that thing, the little ring that was transporting the wrestlers, and I was I was confused. I'm like, man, I was a little Hulkster. I was so confused, but I was happy at the end of it, and I'm pretty sure that's what the whole intent of WrestleMania 6 was to leave, make the fans happy. So I was happy and confused. I'm not gonna lie, I was confused, and yeah, that was my reaction. I was happy but confused, as 6-year-old kid.
That's cool.
Dan, what we have not discussed Dan's pick yet for SummerSlam in the month of August.
I have picked SummerSlam 1998. Reason why I picked that, I mean, this is obviously 10 years after, I guess, say the golden age of wrestling at that point, and WWF was basically going through a shift change when it came to attracting a more mature, well, I wouldn't say mature audience, but more ruthless audience, and obviously they were going through the phase of, beating WCW, which by the summer they were already beating them after like 84 weeks.
Right.
But this was an interesting SummerSlam. A lot of they had that one, unique gimmick match, which only lasted about a couple months, and that was the Lions Den match between Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart. And it took place at one of the greatest venues at Madison Square Garden. So, what a better way.
That was the main venue for a number of years for SummerSlam, at least the first 3 or 4 years or something like that. And then I think they went back to it later on a couple times. But
and you have one of the best mid card matches that night too, with Triple H and Rock in the ladder match for the IC title, which basically made both their careers before reaching that peak of main event status.
Right.
I can't wait to watch.
And of course, we will discuss the 2020 SummerSlam, which is sure to be a clusterfuck of an event. But let's pray that this does not cancel all WWE programming from our televisions. I have not watched Raw and SmackDown since, I don't know, for months. I attempted Raw a couple weeks back, probably like a month back. Couldn't get too far into it, I think, because there was literally nothing else on TV, and I basically was like, oh my God, I can't fucking handle this shit, and got up and left. So let's hope this doesn't cancel WWE product altogether. I'm really hoping that they get it together at some point, because it's pretty sad that they're not producing good product. I mean, even in the pandemic, companies like AEW and what's the other one? Yeah, Impact are showing that during a crowdless fucking time period that you can produce decent product, man. It's just the old man is crazy.
Something I want to ask you guys, out of curiosity, does anyone have the SummerSlam cooler?
Oh, that's fucking.
That's awesome, dude.
Even as the ice and everything.
God. That's rowdy, man. When did that come out? 99, 98?
2008.
I was gonna say that looks like that.
It was to mark the 20th anniversary, so it has 1988 to 2007 on it.
That's awesome.
And 20 events on it in total.
So that's pretty awesome. We got all that garbage coming up. And then I think I know we're still talking on air about this, but what the fuck ever. I think once we start September, maybe the first week of September, we should go and discuss All In. How's everybody feel about that?
I'm down.
Retro, Sunday Retro. So, all right. So that's set. And anybody else have anything they want to discuss before we hit the road?
I mean, I'm looking forward to November. Survivor Series is my favorite WWE pay-per-view, that is. So that'll be cool.
Between that and Royal Rumble, I think, because I always like the surprises. I love the traditional Survivor matches as well. It's unfortunate they don't do enough of them these days. They only do 2 or 3 a show, depending. However, I don't particularly care for the Raw versus SmackDown. That's how they do them these days. Back in the day, they were just a bunch of, Hogan was feuding with Andre, and both men choose their partners, kind of a bullshit, you know what I mean? So that was always a little bit more enjoyable. November, we're going to have to all discuss our favorite Survivor Series as well. I think.
I always liked when the Survivor Series traditional matches, they're one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always loved when they involved rivalries. Like the perfect
Yes.
example, say what you want, but 2009, Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. That's the perfect example of what a traditional Survivor Series match should be.
Right.
Because there was two rivals building their own teams to beat the other rivals' teams. I don't like the brand supremacy crap. I never have. So I always like when legitimate rivalries are involved in Survivor Series.
But last year it seemed like NXT kicked both their asses, so I mean that part I did love. So
Same here.
I think I thought that they really they involved NXT. The NXT had made it to cable TV finally, and they decided to push it, give it a push, and try to get more interest by having them come in and destroy Raw and SmackDown. I think that one of the main brands actually won only one of the matches as far as like the Survivor matches goes, if I remember right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If AEW wasn't around, do you think NXT would have won any of that?
No,
That's the thing.
I don't. I
That's the
think they'd
thing.
still be. I think they'd still be on the network. I
Yeah.
think that they'd still only have an hour, and I think they'd still be pre-taped. And WWE would not be signing as many people. Do you think Dexter Lumis would have been signed to WWE? Do you think Mercedes Martinez, of all people, the girl freaking worked her ass off the last like 18 years and deserved it. She showed up in AEW for two matches and on one on Dark, and all of a sudden she shows up and they announce she signed a contract with the NXT. What she deserved the shit fucking years ago. She's been one of the greatest indie talents in this area for almost 2 decades, and you get me, guys. You got me, guys. You know what I mean. But it's like, so I think that WWE is signing 1 million people just to keep them away from AEW. They did the shit in the 90s. They did the shit to, in the earlier 2000s to try to keep people away from other fucking organizations like, New Japan and such. Try to keep people away.
Capitalism at its best, bro.
You're right, though. You're right.
I look at it. Business is business. Don't take it personally. If I have anything to recommend wrestling-wise, look up Matt Nix, Isaiah Velasquez, and anything that's Zalo Pro related or freelance wrestling related.
I love Freelance. Yeah, I like Freelance a lot. I think they're a great promotion. They're out there where JJ is in the Chicago area.
Anybody else got any recommendations before we say goodbye?
One recommendation, something I've been watching a little bit is Beyond Wrestling.
Oh yeah, they held an event today, their first event in months. So I don't know if you watched it or not. Sorry to cut you, but I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
No, not yet. I mean, I'm still kind of getting familiar with the product, only because I've been watching a lot of Orange Cassidy matches, and despite his sloth style, he's fucking incredible.
I'm coming around as DVD Freak has mentioned. He doesn't like comedy wrestling. I really don't like it either, but I usually, and for the last year or two, I've been talking shit about Orange Cassidy because I'm not necessarily a fan, but a lot of people have said you actually really have to watch him. Maybe I just haven't been, maybe it's a situation I've been watching him in that wasn't quite grabbing me. That's the thing. I've watched him in Beyond, didn't think much of him, but the feud with Jericho, I'm kind of coming around on Orange Cassidy saying, hey, the guy looks like he could kind of work.
I'm not going to lie. That recent match that they had is a must watch. I definitely recommend that.
I think here's my thing about Orange Cassidy. I think he exemplifies what modern wrestling is. And that's kind of the meta aspect of it. So that's why he gets so over with the fans. Yeah. I'm not a fan of him, but I can admit he is a genius in terms of getting over in modern society.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. I get you. All right, gentlemen. Why don't we? We're all set. This has been a great evening. We've gone the longest we've ever gone. This is pretty fucking incredible. So, gentlemen, Dan, why don't we say where you could be found?
All right. So you can find me on Facebook at Danny Bryant. You can find me on Instagram at D_Banshee187. And of course, you can find me on YouTube at DanTheBeast94. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially if you're watching my videos and you're not subscribed. Wait for it. Wait for it. What are you doing? Hit that button.
JJ, why don't you tell everybody where you can be found, my friend?
You can find me at JJ_SINZ. That's JJ Sins. And you can find me on every platform. Was it Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat? Your best bet is to add me on Snap because I'm on that shit like a fucking peanut butter and jug. So, yeah.
DVD Freak.
I've always been a YouTube guy. Yeah, DVD Freak. And then Twitter at the DVD Freak, and that's really about it. Facebook, the Wrestling DVD Room. But that's not really my personal. That's just kind of for everyone. So, yeah, that's about it.
That's an amazing group. I am a part of it, and it's lots of cool stuff. You can reach me at the Twitter and the Instagram machines. They're the Rick Del Santo, and you can definitely go to our YouTube page, Pro Wrestle Zone Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, drop a line, say hello, and share the fucking videos. Subscribe for fuck's sake. All right, folks. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Why is it not stopping?